What's up, my dudes? Hope everybody's having a great weekend. I am here tonight with another story time. It is not a funny story time. I will just go ahead and get that out there. But it is dramatic, it is real, and it is close to home, figuratively and literally. And I come to you with a story time to try and bring awareness to violence in general because it's out of control in the world. But this quiet little town isn't so quiet anymore. And so I bring to you the second shooting in less than a week that has happened 2 miles from my house. It's the third shooting in less than 2 months, and the second one in less than 1 week. It happened very, very close. My best friend, one of my best friends, and her family are involved in this. Not in the bad way. They are the victims in this. I am going to change their names to protect their privacy. She is traumatized right now, as well as I'm sure her daughter is, and her daughter's boyfriend is in the hospital. So let me get to what happened. I was supposed to be to work today at 11, but I didn't show up till noon. As I'm pulling up to the stop sign right before the house I work at, and my best friend's house is right beside it, I see nothing but 10 cop cars, lights all blinking, yellow tape going across the road. And from the distance I was at the time, I thought that the lady that I take care of, I thought her house was also taped off, and I got freaked out because I thought, oh my God, what happened to her, you know? And so, anyways, I stop the car, I run, to the, if you follow me on Snapchat, you'll see some of what happened today. I didn't show any faces or anything like that, but, okay. So she literally just gave me permission to make this video, just to make sure I changed the name. So, thank you, sweet pea. Okay, because I know you'll watch this, so I love you, honey. Now I just gotta think of what name should I give you. I'm gonna call you Shaniqua, because girl, you a badass bitch after how hard you fought to save your life and your daughter's life today. I am so proud of y'all. Both of them. Okay, anyways, let me get back, let me rewind, and we'll get to that part in a minute, okay? So, I run up to the yellow tape, and all these cops turn around looking at me, and I'm just like, that woman in the house over there, I take care of her. Is she okay? And they said, oh yeah, she's fine. It's just here. And that's when I started looking around, and I started seeing that it was just my friend's house taped off. And they said, you can go around if you need to get over to your client's house. So I was like, all right, cool. So, but then I was like, wait, my best friend lives here. Is she okay? And I said, Shaniqua. And they said, yeah, she's fine. She'll be okay. But when they said she'll be okay, I was just like, oh my God, what does that mean? And in my head, though, like in my heart, I just felt she has seen something bad. Like, that was my first thought, because that's just how connected I am to her and to being an empath, So, anyways, so I drive around the side road, go back on the highway, get back onto, and then get back onto my road, and then turn into my client's driveway, get right back out. And I'm just like, I don't see any of them. And I stood outside for a couple minutes. I don't see her husband, her daughter, her son. I didn't see nobody. I didn't see their roommate either. And that's what concerned me, because I was just looking around and I was just like, did he shoot himself? Because I thought, like he killed himself or something. He just like lost it. Well, he lost it, but it wasn't himself that he shot. So I get into the cat lady's house, and I'm like giving the cats water, and then I'll go outside and look, see if anything has changed, if anybody's come out. Finally, her husband, Toby, came out, and I waited a few minutes though, because I didn't want to bother anybody, because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't want to like seem rude or anything. So finally though, I was on the phone with my husband, and I was telling him what was going on. And as I'm on the phone with him, I see the detectives walk up with a camera into the yard, and they start taking pictures of the ground and the side of the house. And I'm just like, what the hell? And I was just like, oh God. And so I'm really thinking at this point, man, the roommate done shot himself outside in the yard or something, and the ambulance just already left before I got there or whatever, because there wasn't no bodies or anything on the ground. Well, oh, I was so wrong. I'm reeling from today. Just like, the energy from it all, like, just kind of overwhelmed me. But not nearly as much as my friend and her family are overwhelmed right now. They are just, I just feel so bad for them. Anyways, let me get my ADD brain back on track. Okay, so I finally go over and I talk to Toby, and I was like, dude, what happened? Are you allowed to talk to me? And at this point, the detective is now pinning little flags into the ground in certain areas. And my husband on the phone said, honey, that's a shooting. And I was just like, oh shit. So I'm like, Toby, what happened? And then he proceeds to tell me. And I was like, alright. I was like, oh my God, I was like, is everybody gonna be okay? And he was like, yeah, I think so. See, the thing was, he had left and went to the store before any of this happened. Everything was normal. So he went to the store. And when he gets back and he comes home to a shooting in his own fucking yard. And his wife and daughter, had to fight for their lives. And, he just seemed really upset. Like, I think he was kind of beating himself up, to be honest. And I think most people would, like, and it's not like, it's not like you can predict that kind of shit usually. Most people can't. So it's not his fault that he wasn't there. He didn't know this was gonna happen, so he shouldn't. So Toby, if you watch this, or if your wife tells you, please don't beat yourself up. This is not your fault. Just be strong and be there for Shaniqua and your daughter, and you guys can get through this together, and if you guys need to talk, I'm always here for you. Okay, back on track. So then I go back to work, and the cat lady asked me to scratch her back, so I do. And then I get a message from Shaniqua saying, can you please come over here, like, right now? I need you, like, ASAP. What should I call the roommate? The roommate shot my daughter's boyfriend. I'm freaking out. I just need you. And I was like, yeah, girl, I'll be over there real quick. Hang on. So, I told cat lady, I was like, look, I'll be right back. Shaniqua needs me really bad. And I said, there's just been a shooting over there, and she needs me, okay? Because she was acting like a bitch, And she was like, what? I was like, look, when I come back, I'll finish rubbing your back, okay? It's like, fuck, I'm not a masseuse, okay? Anyways, so I get over there, and Shaniqua was in tears, traumatized, of course. And I'm sure, they're gonna all have PTSD. Anyway, so now let me proceed to tell you the events that happened around the time I was supposed to be at work today. And I feel bad too, because it's less like, I wish I had have been there, because maybe I'm really good at negotiating with people, like getting them to calm down. I'm a really good peacemaker. Maybe I could have gotten him to calm down and drop the gun before things got worse. I don't know. But anyways, we can't live our life on what ifs. But I got to work an hour late today, you know, and I mean, hell, I could have even been shot if I had tried to go over there and do something, because chances are I would have tried to have helped, because I'm just that kind of person. And when it's a friend, like as close as Shaniqua is, or family, and to me, I see them as, you know, like family to me, I would have been over there, you know, helping. And anyways, so the roommate and the daughter's boyfriend, let's see, what can I call him? Thomas. Let's say Thomas. Okay, what should the roommate's name be? Peter. No, let's just say douchebag. Okay, so the roommate is douchebag. The boyfriend is Thomas. The daughter, I will name her Nikki. Okay, so douchebag, the shooter, and the boyfriend, Thomas, I guess had beef. Like, the roommate just did not like Thomas at all. And it seemed like the roommate was always, like, had the hots for the daughter, who is 26 years old, but she does look a lot younger, and apparently he has a thing for young girls, or young women, or whatever, I don't know. And he's like 60 something years old, I think, so, like, ew, you know. But anyways, and I guess, you know, the daughter, Nikki, and her boyfriend had been, you know, kind of fighting since yesterday. So I'm not really sure on the whole thing. I don't want to speculate, but I'm not sure on the whole reason why the douchebag shot him, and how it escalated like it did. So I won't try to guess or anything, because I don't want to, like, read something into it that it might not be. Okay, so anyways, and I didn't want to be nosy and be like, well, what started the fight? What were they fighting about? Blah, 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 blah. You know, I wasn't going to do all that. So, anyways. So, a fight broke out, like an argument broke out between the shooter and the boyfriend, Thomas. And they were outside, and the boyfriend had a knife trying to defend himself, you know, and because the shooter, the douchebag, is out there with the gun, you know, pointing at everybody and crap like that. Well, I don't know how it ends up happening, but he ends up shooting Thomas, the boyfriend. I believe he shot him twice, and one of the bullets went through, like, both legs, and in one of the legs it crushed the femur bone, which is this bone in your thigh right here, okay? And we also have a femoral artery that is in our upper thigh, the groin area, and if you get, like, cut or shot there or something, you can bleed to death very quickly. So I'm guessing he was losing a lot of blood, probably because of that, because he was life flighted to another town where they have better hospitals than what we have here. And if you live here, you know what I'm talking about. Our hospital is awful. So anyways, he shoots him, and the girlfriend, Nikki, and the mom are trying to get the gun away from him. The mom being my best friend, Shaniqua. And they finally, the daughter gets the gun away from the shooter and throws the gun across the street, because that's like, she just wanted that gun away from him, you know. At some point, probably at that point, while she was distracted throwing the gun, he very quickly grabs this big ass rock, which is right up against the side of the house, and I'm guessing that's where the boyfriend was probably laying out, because he's laying there saying, I'm dying, you know. And he stands above him with this rock, about to just slam it on his head and crush him. How can you hate? like, I don't even understand how he, like, could hate him that much that he just had to end his life, you know, like, what the fuck? So, the daughter and the mom, like, tackled him or whatever, got the rock out of his hands, and I guess at some point they had called the police, or someone had, and so I'm not really sure how they got him to stop. That part I forgot to ask about, I'm not really clear on, but of course it eventually ended with the cops showing up, and they took Thomas to the hospital through by life flight, and which is a helicopter, and then they took the shooter to the hospital because he had this little cut on his side of his face, you know, and he was just like, oh, I'm hurt, I gotta go to the hospital before I go to jail, you know, like, dude, you're just delaying the inevitable, just go and be done with it, you know. So, but anyways, he was still in custody, police custody at that point anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. He, you know, that he was at the hospital, he had cops surrounding his door, you know, I'm sure. So, anyways, he is in jail now. The boyfriend, Thomas, that got shot, is still in another town, in a hospital, hopefully getting really good care. From what I heard, he was critical, but has stabilized. But I do know they also called the family in, probably to just be just in case, because, I mean, he got hurt pretty bad. My solar light just went out. The one that was shining right on me. That's weird. Okay, anyways. So, yeah, so he's in jail. It's just nuts, man. And then I show up a few minutes after it all went down, like, what the heck? And a few days ago at the Dollar General around the corner from our road, 4 guys started shooting at this couple, and it was like a drug deal gone wrong or something, and they shot the guy, and the store manager told me all about it, because I showed up literally right after it happened. Like, they were putting the guy into the ambulance when I got there. Like, just like today, I showed up right after it happened. Like, what the hell? It's like when little Joe went missing, or I should say missing, because, you know, we find out 3 days later that the father actually killed him. And but I was driving down that road, you know, after all, like 20 to 30 law enforcement vehicles had lined up, search and rescue teams were out, and all that shit, and it was just like, what the heck? So, Camo, come here, buddy. Camo, where is he? Camo! I'm so sorry, I can't edit the video. Oh, this sucks. So, anyways, and then a cop was brutally shot to death by a man and his girlfriend almost 2 months ago in this town. You know, so we've had 4 events now that it's happened, and I just want to bring awareness to violence. And if you have rage or hate or anger that builds up and you can't let it out properly, you need to seek some type of help. You need to, I mean, before you snap, please seek help. You know, meditate, write your stuff down, you know, talk to somebody about how you feel. Don't be ashamed of it, because stuff like that happens all the time, you know, or, you know, people feeling rage and anger and stuff like that. But do something about it before you hurt someone. And if you've been hurt and you're suffering from PTSD, or you're traumatized or whatever, find someone you can talk to. Or, you know, I'm sure there are numbers you could Google to some kind of hotline that can help, you know, kind of talk you through panic attacks and things like that. So, anyways, everyone stay safe, please. And if there's any updates, I will let you guys know on Snapchat or Instagram or something. I love you guys and have a wonderful night. And I love your beautiful faces. Bye, everybody.